Okay, you guys, we are back with another banging video. So, in this video, we're gonna talk about Chris Brown suffering another major legal defeat following the 2020 dog attack at his California home. And his, helper, her name is Avila, right? So Avila, she was taking out the trash when she was attacked by a dog that Chris Brown has that is very vicious. Now, Avila was aware of the dog being on the premises and how vicious the animal was, but there's something that took place. I believe it's a miscommunication at the time that she took out the trash. She got attacked and her sister watched her getting attacked. The security had to run to her rescue and Chris Brown refrained from calling the emergency unit because he said that he never wanted to pull that kind of attention to his premises, knowing how easily he's attacked. It is true, he's easily attacked, but when it comes to someone else's life, you have to think about preserving health and preserving life over image at all times. So that was a huge failure on his part. His security called in the medics and Avila, she was rushed to the hospital. She had to undergo numerous constructive surgery. She has facial disfigurement, blindness in one eye, and the court had awarded her $13 million. She initially filed the lawsuit. I believe she was seeking something like $19 million, but she got $13 million. Her sister also was awarded a payout close to $1 million because of what she had to stand there and witness. Because when you witness something that is horrific that could have been avoided with better care and management, the court will compensate you for your trauma in cases such as these. Now, Avila's husband was also compensated a little bit over $500,000 because he's no longer looking at the face that he once knew. Her face has changed. She's blind in one eye. So that is causing inconvenience in his marriage. So he was compensated for that. Now, after the court ruled a judgment in, Avila getting the $13 million, Chris Brown had not made any negotiations to pay, nor had any communications to pay, based on what I'm understanding. So, Avila's attorney petitioned the court to issue levies and freeze bank accounts tied to the Chris Brown and Usher tour. So, what Avila's attorney asked the court to do was basically to send out petition, freeze any bank account that's tied to the tour production, right? So what the attorney did was to direct third-party entities to route payment installment directly to the court or to the judgment creditor before they can reach Chris Brown or his entities. So the attorney is saying after everyone is paid, whatever is remaining for Chris Brown, before you direct this money to Chris Brown, please direct it to the court or the judgment creditors. Do not let it hit Chris Brown or his entities, right? No. Under California enforcement of judgment law, the court can definitely issue these orders requiring future right to payment streams such as live performance fees, tours, merchandise profit, music royalty. They can be assigned to the judgment to satisfy the $13 million plus interest, right? And also, if at time passes she does not collect the full amount, they can identify other properties, etc., to satisfy the judgment. Right? Chris Brown's legal team, they have filed a they have filed a counter objection arguing that sweeping all present and future tour royalties is overly broad. The court evaluates individual third-party withholding requests, such as the venue payout versus overall corporate entities, to balance the legitimate operating expenses while ensuring that the money is paid. So the court will ensure that everyone who works on the tour gets what they're supposed to get. And if there's any contract that said that Chris Brown would have paid someone from this tour, then the courts basically ensure that that obligation is met. So all obligations will be met, and the only one that will not be met is to ensuring the money hits Chris Brown pocket or any entities tying to Chris Brown. So Chris Brown is not happy about this judgment because initially they said that they would be appealing the court's decision. No appeal yet has been submitted based on my understanding. But, I mean, Chris Brown, he needs to hold himself accountable, because what was your reason for not calling the emergency unit? It could have been worse. That woman's face was, partially torn off based on what I read in the initial reports. And I can't imagine seeing someone in such condition and you're thinking about self and not thinking about preserving that person's health or their life. It is people's health and their life before everything else. Well, let me know what you guys think, and we're gonna talk some more in the comment section. Peace.